Good evening, viewers, and welcome to your favorite sports show, Daily Trust Sports. My name is Joshua Odeyemi, your sports commando, and with me, as usual, on the show is Mr. Jide Olushola, your sport terminator.
Good evening, viewers. You're welcome to another show.
You're welcome. Yeah, the transfer market in Europe is hotting up now since the 2019-2020 season is about to kickstart. Hence, we will be talking about all the big moves in the transfer markets around the big clubs in Europe, as well as Nigerian players. The news of the week, obviously, is the imminent move of Nicolas Pepe to Arsenal. We will also be discussing the Gareth Bale transfer saga, then Romelu Lukaku's transfer to Inter Milan, which has been called off now. Now there is a swap arrangement between Juventus and Manchester United for him. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Paulo Dybala too. We'll talk about Harry Maguire and Wilfred Zaha and Neymar status in PSG. So we'll be talking around this, and most especially what transpired the weekend during the Ato Cup final for the male and female teams. Jide Olushola was there, and he will be giving us what's transpired there, the crowd, the fans, trouble, and all those stuff. So you're welcome to the show. You can be part of this conversation by responding to the question on our Facebook page, Daily Trust, and on our Twitter handle, Daily_Trust. I want you to let us know if the signing of Nicolas Pepe is a sign that Arsenal will be competing for the trophies next season, or if it's just one of those things. And if you feel it will do good, or it will just be an average player like every other players have been, let us know. Let us have your views. So let's start with the Nicolas Pepe story. Arsenal have reached an agreement with Lille for the signing, the £72 million signing of Nicolas Pepe, the Ivorian attacker. Arsenal actually hijacked the deal from Napoli, who already had an agreement with Lille before Arsenal stepped in. Also, Liverpool and Manchester United were interested in the attacker before Arsenal came up, and of course, Arsenal will be paying. They will be paying for the player in a 5-year arrangement payment plan, and with so much money for the agents, there was no way any club could hijack the deal again. And Jide, Arsenal for the first time are bringing out the money into the market, and it's kind of a show of intent. And so many Arsenal fans are already buzzing. They're already
buzzing like you, bro.
Yeah, they're already eyeing the trophy, even though we know that they are actually pursuing the top 4.
You know, it's a good one that Arsenal that are splashing the cash this time around to buy players. You know, in the past under Professor Arsene Wenger, you know, the Arsenal was very, very, very shrewd when it comes to spending money on players. But I think with the activities of clubs like Man City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, spending huge cash on players to bring in quality players, Arsenal, they just needed to buy player, and I think they're buying for 80 million.
No, it's actually £72 million.
Okay, plus add-ons. Yes, to make it like £80 million, which is a good money for Lyon, and they're making good money by selling into Arsenal. I'm talking about Nicolas Pepe. And anyways, he's a fine player, and but he alone cannot do the work for Arsenal.
Of course, Arsenal have some other good players like Aubameyang, and they have.
But Arsenal also have players like Ozil there, so
Ozil,
which is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
You add this guy that's going to Juventus. What's his name again?
Aaron
Ramsey. But then Arsenal did not win any trophy last season.
But you know, when you look at the quality,
Arsenal
when you look at the quality of, when you look at the
contenders right now. Not this coming season.
Why?
In my opinion.
Why?
You still have Chelsea. You still have Liverpool. You still have Man City.
Why will you say Arsenal in particular?
Because now Arsenal is trying to build a winning team, and you cannot start being a winning team under one season. It's a gradual process. See how Man City progressed over the years. They bought in quality players over the years. It took them over I think 2 or 3 years before they won the league. But they bought quality players, they spent money to buy quality players, and now they are now a fearsome team to play against in Premiership. Arsenal cannot compete with Man City right now. Man City that used to be the noisy neighbors, according to Sir Alex Ferguson.
That should be like some long years back.
And now they're not the prime leader of English football.
Now, let's look at
the
quality of players available to the teams
right now.
Well, yes, when you look at Manchester United, up front, they have presently, though there's a plan for Lukaku to move on, but as it is now, they have Lukaku as their lead striker. They have this boy, Martial.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Martial on the right, on the flank. Then this young English striker.
You mean for Man U? What else? Right? Now the point is what I'm trying to say is that.
No, I want us to look at the quality of players available to these teams. You know, when you say a team like Arsenal doesn't have what it takes to be champions.
Not this coming season. Probably not probably in 2 seasons time. But you start building that winning team from now.
How do you build the winning team?
By guarding these players. These players cannot come at once now and give you the title at once.
They are not coming at once.
So what I'm trying to say now that
these players look when you look at the history of Arsenal started buying players. When I say players, I don't say buying players when they bought Alex Sanchez from Barcelona about 4 seasons ago, £35 million. That was their biggest. Then they followed it up with Ozil, £42 million. Mm-hmm. Then they followed up with Lacazette. Then they followed up with Aubameyang. Now they are buying Nicolas Pepe.
My own is that when they bought Sanchez, when they bought Ozil, Arsenal are title contenders. It's the same language. Which title were they contending for?
That's your personal opinion, though.
It's a yearly thing for Arsenal to be called title contenders. But when the main game starts now, of course they'll perform very well during the season. But towards the end of the season, they begin to fall. It happens, and they drop out of top 4.
In some 3 seasons ago, when Leicester City won the league, Manchester United were nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. Manchester City were nowhere to be found. Chelsea were nowhere to be found. Arsenal came second on that list. Yet they were not title contenders. But that is that. Let's look at what Nicolas Pepe brings to the Premiership. He's a player with a very good left leg. He scores goals, play free kicks, play penalties, a corner kick expert. He's an assist expert too. He had 11 assists, second in the League One last season. Then he scored 22 goals, and he's also second to the PSG Mbappe last season. So, what does Nicolas Pepe bring to the Premiership?
It's just, I think it will bring in more flair, more that winning mentality that probably is missing in Arsenal players. Arsenal players, I'm sorry, they're not used to winning. So
you have your opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion. I'm saying
it's not a fact.
Arsenal players are not so used to winning regularly. So though Nicolas Pepe is not as if he's a regular winner as well, but at least he has won one or two things in the past, and it's good to add his little experience from the French league and bring it to the Premier League and let's see. But
I want to take you on this winning, not winning stuff. When Sané, Mane, when Mane came from Southampton, he has never won anything in his life.
But he met a good team.
What team was good then? Who were in that team? Who was in that team then?
We had at least
in Liverpool. Who was in that team that is outstanding then?
No,
nobody.
There's a brand called Liverpool. Liverpool is a brand
itself.
No,
Liverpool has never. If you go back to your history, when last did Liverpool win anything?
The Premier League, I think, was like 20-something years ago.
So they were not a winning team. Champions League 2005.
Yes.
Or 2005. Yes.
Against AC Milan.
But they were not winning. But they are now a Champions League winner.
But we could see Liverpool among then they were struggling between 3rd, 4th, 5th. They rotated.
That's what Arsenal has been. Arsenal has been struggling between 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
I agree with
over the years.
I agree with you. So let's just
now what is your criteria? What are your criteria? I mean, in judging a team that is ready to win a trophy and the one that is not ready to win a trophy?
See, it's not by buying just 3 players alone that will make it.
How many players did Liverpool buy?
I think they bought almost the whole team. Yes, Liverpool bought almost the whole team.
Outstanding players.
Yes, they bought almost.
Outstanding players.
They bought almost the whole team, either outstanding or non-outstanding.
No, and every
player. They bought a whole team, and which did not come together as one compact team. Now, my own fear now is how these players will now gel together to form a compact team. Let's leave us now talk a look and let's go to our next topic.
Okay, let's quickly look at what our viewers are saying.
Comments. We have some comments coming in from. So we have Usei Modibo Wuno saying 3 signings I think are not enough, which I personally agree with him. They still need to make more signings to cover up their defensive lapses. Then Suleiman Mume says I'm in doubt. Then, okay, so far that's the comments we have right now.
What about on Twitter?
Okay, then on Twitter, none has come in yet. So hopefully you can send in your comments as soon as you can. So we are still looking for comments from our Twitter page.
Okay. So the first person was saying that Arsenal 3 players cannot make a team. He is not aware that Arsenal are just signing for now. They've signed several players. Leno, the keeper, was signed just last season. In the defense, Papa was signed from Dortmund. In the midfield, we have Gendozi and Torreira, who were signed last season, and they did well last season too. Then this season as well, this guy has been brought in from Real Madrid, Dani Ceballos.
Okay, Arsenal try to contenders.
Okay, then now we have other prominent stories in the transfer market. We have Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale was set to leave Real Madrid for China last week, but at the weekend the deal was stopped.
Because of the according to Chinese rules, you can't have more than 4 non-Chinese players in the team. And that particular club he was going to, they already have 4. In fact, they have 5.
But that was not the reason.
No, but that was the reason that later came out that they have 5 already.
They could as well sell others.
One is supposed to leave, but I think that one is not ready to leave. So there's a little complications in as regards that a particular club.
I don't think that was the issue.
Except he goes to another club.
That was not the issue. The issue was that the president, Perez, doesn't want him to leave because of the injury to Asensio.
Yeah. But no, different factors. Maybe things are just working out for Gareth Bale right now because
Gareth Bale wanted to leave. It's a $1 million a week deal. Where do you get that?
China. So and as it stands now that Asensio is out apparently for the rest of the season without even his season starting. He's already out. And there's a need for a cover.
You don't have Isco. Isco is there to cover for you. Lucas.
Isco is a fantastic player when it comes to the middle, but not as fantastic as it is when it comes to the wings.
He's good as well on the wings.
You need the kind of Madrid structure is that Isco plays better in the middle than on the wings. You cannot use Isco.
But there's no room for him in the middle.
Unfortunately,
yes.
But Isco cannot play as good as he plays well in the midfield as wing. So, natural winger, natural player that plays on the wing, them. Asensio is good on the wings. Bale is good on the wings. So,
but you have Lucas who plays on the wing.
You have Lucas too, who's also.
What of Diaz? Diaz left?
Yeah, I think he's going. He should be going soon because they need that number. No, okay, he's not the one that is number 7 to give Hazard. No, Hazard is my 50 right now.
Okay. Now Zidane, he has been having issues with Zidane, and Zidane wants him gone. And now he has refused to travel with the team to Germany for the Audi Cup against Tottenham.
Which they lost. 1-0 yesterday. And
then he's saying, no, he was sick, he was not feeling fine, that's why I didn't go. But obviously we know the relationship is not cordial.
Sometimes these issues is because of Gareth Bale himself not being. He has not fully adapted into. It's like they say English players find it difficult to adapt in La Liga, and Bale seemed
Trippier has already moved to Atletico
Yes.
Madrid from Tottenham.
But hardly do English players survive so well in La Liga. If you look at the records,
When?
David Beckham, he survived anyway. But what I mean, survive playing so much that there were no issues at all. Now, even Michael Owen, he came, he left. There are many other players like that have come and gone. Now, Bale issue that he has refused to even integrate himself fully into the team after spending so many years in the club. Yeah.
And he wanted to leave.
He cannot speak Spanish. He cannot speak
He
Spanish.
wanted to leave. He wanted to make his final money. And you people stopped him from making that final money.
When team players are having celebrations, having team talk, he rather goes and play golf. They call him the golfer. He plays golf. When people are having celebrations, he would rather say, my sleep is more important to me than hanging out with his teammates. So there is this disconnect between him and teammate that we have a teammate that we don't even flow with. Just imagine all of us now in Daily Trust now are having a party, and maybe you now as a person now, you're the only one out. It's not only maybe it happen once. It's possible. Probably you have more press engagement, but it's an every time
stuff. So let's move away from Bale now and talk about the big deal, the swap deal between Manchester United and Juventus that is on ground now. In fact, the only issue now is for Dybala to meet with Manchester United and agree on his payment, his wages. If not, the two clubs have already agreed that they are going to swap Lukaku for Dybala. And if I were you, if you were Manchester United, will you swap Lukaku for Dybala?
Both clubs know what they need to survive for their clubs to play very well. Dybala is not a striker; he's a midfielder. Lukaku is a striker.
Dybala is not a midfielder.
He's not a top 9 like Lukaku.
He's a top 9.
He's not.
But of course, coming to Premiership,
he's not a top 9.
He's a top 9.
He's not a top 9 for. He's not. Dybala he plays for the midfield. He's not a top 9 like Lukaku.
He can play like the way you have Messi. He can play every forward position.
Messi a top 9?
Messi is a top 9. He can play for any position.
Messi is not a top 9.
Okay.
But he happens to be a forward.
No, Messi can play any forward position. Dybala can play every forward position.
Dybala he can call him a forward or a midfielder, but not a striker. Lukaku is a striker. So both clubs know what they want.
But I want you to correct that notion. Dybala is a striker.
He is not.
Most times he could be the second striker, but he's a striker.
I still disagree. Dybala is not. He's not somebody that you say you give him 20, 35 goals in a season.
Because he has not had the opportunity to lead the line. Because he cannot lead the line. He supports, not as the main striker. He can't lead the line. He can't. He's a support. Okay, now he's an Argentina. Why doesn't he lead the line for Argentina? Because you have other players who are built. Dybala is small.
Is that because he is not? You don't understand me. He is not a top 9. He can
support. Why do you play Mikel at number 10 in your whereas he play 4 in his club?
Mikel started as 10 before Mourinho converted him to 4.
Okay, so you feel Dybala has not played as a striker before.
So there is the need for Mikel to remain, That's why I say clubs have what they need for them to want Lukaku and Dybala to.
Actually, it was just an afterthought. They wanted to sell Lukaku to buy Moussa Dembele from Lyon. That was the plan, but Inter Milan was unable to bring that to bring out the money, and when Dybala was put up for sale by Juventus, having bought so many players in transfer market this season, they decided to have a trial.
Now let's just say both clubs they know what they want in Lukaku and as well as Dybala. So for them to agree on a swap deal is left to them.
Losing Lukaku, you feel losing Lukaku wouldn't hurt Manchester United? I
think Lukaku wants to leave after himself. He wants to leave.
Okay. Now, we have it again that PSG have paid Everton a fee in the region of £22 million for Idrissa Gueye, according to Sky Report. Gueye is a very combative is a holding midfielder with Everton, and he has been doing well in the Premiership. I think he's only behind Wilfred Ndidi in number of tackles and interceptions in Premier League last season, and he has now moved to PSG to continue his football career. When you look at players moving, African players moving, and you can hardly hear of any Nigerian players moving. Even those who are moving for peanuts. We have Nicolas Pepe, an Ivory Coast player who is moving for £72 million. We have Sarah that has been quoted £80 million to sign, and Arsenal was on his heels before they went for Nicolas Pepe. Then we have Chelsea and Everton too wanting to sign him, but you can hardly hear of. Then we have Mane, we have Salah. These are players that are making the wave. You have Mahrez, but where are Nigerian players? Where are they in the market? Where are they moving to? Who is buying them? Who is going after them?
They are going to some clubs that we don't know. So,
at very cheap rate.
A very cheap rate. You know, the Nigerian football is still. We have a lot to go anyway. So let's put that with that. Our players who are out of the country, they need to exert themselves more in games. They need to break through very, very well, and not just focus on the money. They need that name, they need that prestige, they need that honor, and they need that glory as well too, for them to be recognized as African, one of the best players in the world. And over the weekend, on Sunday precisely.
No, before we go to the Ito Club, let's just quickly look at two of our Nigerian players who have moved or who are about to move. Onyekuru is being eyed by Monaco in the French league. Henry Onyekuru plays for Everton in England, and according to Sky Sports, Monaco are on him for a permanent deal, but something close to the player haven't confirmed whether or not another work permit application. He actually didn't have a work application to work permit to work in France, so they are on it and they are discussing it. He cost $7 million in the summer of 2017 to move to Everton, but last year he was in Galatasaray after a spell at Anderlecht, and Everton are now looking for how to sell him away. You know, then we have this other Nigerian-born player, Adarabi Oyo Tosin, who has completed a medical at Blackburn today ahead of joining on a season-long loan from Manchester City. He's a Nigerian-born international. He's a Nigerian-born player that has moved from. He's in Manchester City, but of course there is no play time for him there, so he had to move to another club to get playing time for the next season. Now let's quickly look at what happened at the weekend at the Aito Cup final. Okay,
in Kaduna, at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, two key matches were played between Nasarawa Amazons and the River Angels. That's the female category, and the Kano Pillars against the Niger Tornadoes for the male categories. Nasarawa Amazons, they dethroned the River Angels to win the cup. River Angels have been winning this title, interestingly, for this will be their one on Sunday. That will be the fourth time in a row. So they have won it 8 times and 3 times in a row. And Nasarawa Amazons came from, their penalty kicks and snatched the victory from Rivers Angels. Everybody wanted Rivers Angels to win, but so everybody wanted Nasarawa Amazons to win because they felt, how can River Angels just be winning? You won the first one, second one, and 3 times in a row. So there was a need for that break that let a new champion. But of course, emerge.
You know that Rivers Angels were one of the best clubs.
Yes, in Nigeria,
and most of our national team players are drawn from them, from all the age groups.
Yes,
from under 17,
all the keepers were there.
So they have the personnel to.
Yes, even our goalkeepers, our 2 goalkeepers are in the club.
Of,
yes, Rivers Angels. So they lost 5-4 penalties, and our goalkeeper Oloyi, she was she was brought in to replace for the
penalty
penalties. Yes, and she had 2 opportunities of catching 2 of the penalty kicks, but she flopped her lines. She caught one of the balls, but then dropped it into her net. There was one she caught that she also touched, but she pushed it into her net as well. So anyway, it was very painful for them. But then kudos to Danjuma team, Christopher Danjuma, for leading his club to a victory that they needed so badly. And now the big one was between Kano Pillars and Niger Tornadoes. Niger Kano Pillars have been looking for this trophy for almost 66 years.
Yes.
And they finally broke that they could have broken last year, but they lost miraculously to Rangers. You're leading 3-0 and now lost.
Came from
penalties and lost. And this particular game again, it was decided by penalties, and they won by 4-3 on penalties. It was good penalty kicks. In fact, I think they played about 7-7. This one will lose, this one will lose, this one will lose, this one will score, this one will score. So it was not the
tension. So
yes, it was until the very last kick, and unfortunately, as Kano Pillars scored the winning penalty.
No, before we go to the drama after the penalty, let's look at this issue of goals in the finals. We look at last season too. The final was decided by penalty.
For the past 4 editions.
What is the issue with the FA, the traditional FA Cup? Is it that there's not enough quality?
No, it means that
on show.
I believe now that it means that there's so much quality. There's so much the final teams. That means they're strong enough to get to the finals.
They're strong enough. Niger Tornadoes, who have been relegated from Premiership, and you feel they are strong enough
for them to have gotten to the final, to have defeated the plenty clubs they played with right from the group stage up to that means they did very well.
But it's the goals that make football.
And
goals are not coming.
They got the goals during the qualifying, during the other.
The finals.
But both teams could not score because they matched themselves 50-50. It was a good game. Nobody was ready to concede. But towards the end of the game, let me get to Kano Pillars. They attacked and attacked.
They wanted the late goal.
Yes, towards 20 minutes out of the game, they kept on pumping, but they were wasteful in front of the goal. They could have scored. They had chances. And I felt if they lose their chances this time around, they'll never win this cup. And they were scared when it was time for penalties. They were terribly scared.
That's why they wanted a late goal to avoid penalties.
But they were scared
because of their experience last season.
Yeah, they were scared. And in fact, you could see from where they were playing their penalty kicks. They were so cautious. Nobody was ready to play the ball anyhow to avoid. But they were so cautious because of what happened to them last year. So that's why they're pumping in efforts to score in at that. But they kept their energy. They allowed Niger Tornadoes to attack them for a while. Then when they got towards the end of the game, they not came all out. In fact, they took over the field, our field, and then.
So let's talk about the Kano Pillars fans.
It was a very, very unfortunate incident whereby the crowd invasion in our Nigerian Football League remains unabated. It still remains. It happens every now and then. At the last of the whistle that Kano Pillars had won, these fans, they came as bees and entered the stadium. The advertisement boards were removed. They broke down. They tore all the banners. Everything was torn. They came into the pitch. In fact, we could not visit the players. The players could not even jubilate that they had won because these fans overtook everywhere. And in the process of trying to restore normalcy, police fired gunshot, they fired tear gas to disperse all of them. And at the VIP lodge, we had the governor of Kano State. Umar Ganduje was there. 3 deputy governors, that's Kaduna, Niger, and Nasarawa. They were all there. Amaju Pinnick was there. The NFF top guys were all there. Thomas Zanebi was there. The football eggheads were all there. And the police fire tigers. Of course, naturally, they took away the governors for safety to,
About the trophy.
The trophy got missing. The trophy got missing during they did not find the trophy. And after the whole, there was fights, the JTF, the local JTF of Kaduna tried to send back these fans. They were over happy. It was excitement.
Of course.
It was excitement. Not that they wanted to, but out of the excitement, they began to destroy. TV cameras got damaged. Some people's laptops were destroyed. When they fired the tear gas, people ran away. So there was commotion. And Ahmad Jipinik, as that happened, he disappeared. As the president of the NFF, he was supposed to be there to present the trophy, but he was not there.
But it was the vice president that actually presented.
Yes, and the governor was still around. The deputy governor of Kano State was even there as well too. They still came back to collect the trophy and give to their to the Kano Pillars players. So it was after giving the medals, they were not looking for the trophy. The trophy was nowhere to be found. For almost 20 minutes, they were on the stage. Where is the trophy? They were calling whoever they're calling to bring the trophy, look for the trophy, and bring it back to them. So there's a need for LMC and NFF.
The security of stadium. One of the issues we're having with the league is that people are not coming to watch the matches
because of security. I cannot be the stadium and I'll see sticks being thrown at me.
The last top six
in Lagos
final. What happened there too?
Eyimba and the same
Kano Pillars, and there was pitch invasion too. So what are the
I don't know
modalities being put in place by NFF?
Now, if they look at history of Italian football, they had this kind of similar issue before in the past. What they do, they erected barriers, 7, 8, 9 feet barriers, as very high, that for you to even climb, you must have to climb and drop. Before you drop, police will even come, and So, I think stadiums, they need to create that facility, and then they need to organize seminars and sensitize these fans completely that there's a need for you to respect, rules, because they disorganized everything. There was no proper measures. Everything was just organized. By the time everything was normalized, the whole thing was empty. They were supposed to even sing, as they're supposed to be entertainment. But I think some musicians, after, they could not. Everything was...
Okay, that is what we have. Let's quickly check responses from our viewers before we round up the show.
Okay. Sonny Wildere said, up Arsenal. And another person said, Olusheye, God with me. Oladokun said, Liverpool bought a whole team. Same with Arsenal.
Okay.
And going to Twitter, someone said, Emmanuel Ombu said, if they sign a good CD, maybe central defender, they will surely be title contenders.
Okay. Thank you so much for staying with us. That's why I will draw the curtain for today. We want you to join us next week, same time, for another powerful show. Thank you so much from me and from Jide. Bye.
Bye.